How do you view the arts as patriotic?
Well, the arts are patriotic because the arts speak to our inner selves. And art, at its best, tells you about yourself. I know people look at art and say, well, I don't know what this is telling people. It's what it tells you. And it speaks, at its best, to our better angels. And it also leads to creativity. Even if you're not an artist, an engineer, a farmer, it leads to thoughts of creativity. And this is one of the values that has made America what it is. That as I write in what unites us, that we're sustained by our institutions, our system of checks and balances, separation of power. We've been inspired by our values, including the arts. And we've also been driven by creativity and innovation, which has made our economy what it is. Those are the values that we must treasure, and the arts being one of them. My wife, Jean, is a painter, and has taught me most of what I know about art, which is damning with faint praise. But I really come to appreciate art as an integral part of patriotism. Art also can be humbling, and at the very core of patriotism, as separate from nationalism, the core of patriotism is a certain humility. Listen, we're good, we have a great country, but we are not perfect, never have been, but we have to keep moving toward that distant star, ever trying to be better. And the arts inspire that, and that's another thing that makes them right at the red beating heart of who we are.
If our current president granted you another interview, what would be your first question?
Well, I have a long list, and I am going to answer the question, but I would have to point out that you're probably more likely to see the Pope come riding through this room on a giraffe than you are to see me with an interview with President Trump. But I would ask him and press him a bit, respectfully, as I always try to do with presidents, on what is it, Mr. President, of what are you afraid? It's obvious you're afraid of something. You're almost terrorized by something. What is it? Because whatever it is, it would be better that you get out with it now. It'll come out sooner or later with a special counsel or somebody else, because I'm puzzled by what it is that is so terrifying to him. I paused on the word because I didn't want to be too strong, but I think that's true. He wouldn't be saying some of the things he says in the way he says them, and constantly say them. They reflect to me someone who's afraid. He's very afraid. And I'd like to ask him a series of questions which would try to get to the very foundation of that.
Thank you so much.
Not at all. Thank you.